Throughout my life, the 10 rings gave our family power. If you want them to be yours one day, you have to show me you are strong enough to carry them.
You are a product of all who came before you. The legacy of your family. You are your mother. And whether you like it or not, you are also your father.
I told my men they wouldn't be able to kill you if they tried. Glad I was right.
You're just a criminal who murders people.
Be careful how you speak to me, boy.
I thought I could change my name, start a new life. But I could never escape his shadow.
My son, you can't run from your past.
Is this what you wanted?
You got this.
Thank you.
Jab, left foot, right hook.
I'm back watching 30 movies. I'm back doing 30 podcasts. This is the 9th year of movie month. Please listen all June. All June.
On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to
It's day 4 of movie month. Happy Saturday, everybody. Back in the Marvel swing of things, catching up on all things Marvel this month, or most things Marvel. We'll see how far I get. But today I watched Shang-Chi, Legends, and the Legends of the Ten Rings. Yeah, this movie was really, really enjoyable. The thing that I got out of most of it was that it almost didn't need to be a Marvel movie. It's like this could have been just a fantasy movie all on its own, except based on like it is based on an old comic or comic characters. I don't know a great deal about Shang-Chi, the Ten Rings. My first introduction to the Ten Rings was in the original Iron Man, where it was kind of used as a terrorist organization, and that was the whole thing with Ben Kingsley being used as like the head of the Ten Rings, but it was not actually real. And what I love, that's from 2013, and what I do love is that they tied that into this movie. They brought Ben Kingsley back. He played the same character, the fake Mandarin. They made fun of that. They poked fun at that, and they kind of pulled him in, and he was good comic relief for this movie. And at the end, they brought in Captain Marvel, Bruce Banner, and they did have Wong in a few parts. So you saw this was, there was some connection there to Doctor Strange. But at the end, they're like, they bring the two characters in, Shang-Chi and Katie, and they meet with Cara Danvers, Bruce Banner, and it's like, welcome to the circus. Basically, okay, you didn't know this, but we've been watching you, we've been keeping an eye on you, and you're part of this now. Welcome to the Avengers. That's my thinking. You're welcome to the Marvel Universe. Before that, it was just like a big action-adventure fantasy movie that, again, later at the end, connects to the bigger Marvel world. But on its own, it was just an enjoyable movie. I didn't know many of these actors. Simu Lee, and I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. Simu Lee, I believe he's in. I saw him the first time hosting Saturday Night Live. It was like the first time I've ever really seen him do anything. And I know he was in Kim's Convenience, which I've heard about. I've heard good things, but I've never seen an episode of. And now he's like, boom, he's a superstar. I'm also familiar with Awkwafina from seeing her in a couple things, but she was just so likable in this movie, like enjoyable. Like she was the every person kind of like your gateway into this fantasy world. See, my thinking was, there's these 10 rings, okay, and this guy is going to find out that he's part of this legend, that he's going to find out that he has these powers and he's this heir and he's next in line and all these things. That's what I thought it was going to be. Instead, what it was this guy always knew about his legend. He just kind of left it behind, hangs out with his friend in San Francisco, and one day his past catches up with him, and all of a sudden he's doing crazy karate stuff, and like Awkwafina's shocked. Later on, he's got to fight someone, and he takes his shirt off, and she's like, "Whoa!" Like all these things that she's trying to like. Wait a second, who is this guy that I know? So we find out that he's the secret son of this man who had the power of the 10 rings for 1,000 years. Like this man's this old, but he left it all behind to start a family. The past caught up with him. His wife was killed. He went on a rampage, bringing back the assassins, and the 10 rings as a group of assassins, and had his son trained to go kill the man who killed his mother, which I guess he said he didn't do, but he did do later on. And then he ran off to America to hide, and he ran off to America to start a new life, and that's where he met his friend Katie. He took the name Sean. He spells it just like my brother. And it's like it was very funny when she said, "Wait, you changed your name from Shang to Sean? That's like changing your name from Michael to Muchel." It was actually very funny. That was a good. There were a lot of moments where I chuckled, and most of it was Awkwafina. So the first part of the movie is like these bad guys come to steal a pendant around his neck. We see he has a pendant. And then they're going for my sister next. You didn't even know she had a sister. So they have to go to Macau to find the sister. There's like a big fighting, like a fighting ring that she controls. but the bad guys come there. They steal the pendant too. It's really the father behind this. Then the father catches up with them and says, come on, you're all coming with me, and I'm going to go find your mother because she's still alive. Her original village, because her mother's magical. Their mother's magical. The village is, keeping her hidden behind this gate. Well, it turns out this gate was just taunting him, infiltrating his brain, making him think it was what it wasn't. Like he was being manipulated by a demon, I think, of some sorts. So the dad's whole idea was, I'm going to go tear down that village and going to get your mother back. And instead, they'll keep them in prison. The son and the daughter, Shang-Chi and the sister, keep them here, and Aquafina. But then they run into Trevor, and there's it's a little like convoluted. Oh, your dad went to kill me, but then they liked my Macbeth, so now I do performances for them, every day or every week. But it didn't matter because we got Ben Kingsley being funny, and that was enjoyable. So they all break out of there, go to the village to warn them. And I was like, wow, there's still an hour left. I thought this was the climax. That's when they get all this training with the people of the village. And then the bad guys with the dad come. But then they open the gate and these monsters come out. And the bad guys and the good guys are thinking, let's team up and fight the monsters. They do. Shang-Chi fights his dad. He ends up getting power of the rings. He ends up becoming worthy and taking the rings. The father dies. The son gets the rings, kills the big monster. And everyone's happy, right? That's pretty much it. And it's the fun thing because they're back in San Francisco telling their friends all about this. And the friends are like, huh? And then Wong from Doctor Strange shows up. He was there at the fighting ring, and they're like, wow, they knew who he was. Like, whoa, that's who I know. Like, they're familiar with him. And then I think because everyone's probably familiar with the Avengers and people with help with the Avengers because they're all so famous. So then that's when he brings them to the end to meet Bruce Banner and Cara Danvers. Cara Danvers. I'm saying that right. Captain Marvel. Cara Danvers might be Supergirl. Carol something. I don't know. Hey Google, what is the secret identity of Captain Marvel in Marvel Comics?
On the website Marvel.com, they say, Walter Lawson, a man who was secretly the Kree spy known as Mar-Vell. Mar-Vell became very close to Carol, and he developed a kinship for humanity while acting to protect the Earth.
Stop. Carol Danvers. Okay. Cara Danvers. Wait a minute. Is it Cara Danvers was Supergirl and Carol Danvers? Look, there's a lot of superheroes out there and a lot of names to keep track of. And when you have something that close, and I'm sure there's been many Supergirls and there's been many Captain Marvels, but Carol Danvers, Bruce Banner, they're like, welcome to the club. And that's kind of how it ends. Except, they're like, where's your sister? Oh, she went to go dismantle Dad's empire. No, she went to take control of it. And now she lets the women and the men train together to be assassins. But maybe for good. Maybe. I don't know. She's got this one-armed fella named Razorfist who worked for the dad. Now works for her. But I'm not sure. He was kind of cool. Towards the end, he's like, let's work together. And there was just some very good action set pieces. Now, you lose a little when you realize a lot of it's digital, green screen. It's like I like when you can see the fighting, and you can tell it's actually all happening. Like the stunts all happen. Like they used to be Jackie Chan. Some of those Jackie Chan movies. I remember going to the theater to see Rumble in the Bronx because I was so excited to see some of these stunts. And like there's some great. But I also love the choreographed fighting where it's like a dance almost. Yes, it's all perfectly choreographed, but I love it. It just looks very impressive to me when you see that. But on the bus, like you can tell that they're not really hanging out of a bus. Where Jackie Chan would do crazy things like that, but it still is a very cool, impressive, well put together action set piece, a fight. And then the other one that was even better, even though it's all digitally special effects, you still go whoa when they're on the side of the building with that bamboo scaffolding doing that big fight. Another great one. At the end we see dragons and monsters fighting, and that was okay. I like the hand-to-hand combat better, It was cool to see like the dragons, the good dragons fighting the evil dragons, I guess, in the tradition of dragons in the culture. All very cool. The fighting, very cool. Some of the like the use of nature and just the hand movements and the gracefulness, all very cool to see. And it, at the core of it, were Shang-Chi and Katie, and those characters. They're just friends, I guess. As of now, they're just friends. But they're also like kind of fish out of water. Awkwafina more than him, and they were just likable characters, and that goes a long way. If you don't like the star of your movie, or like really like, wow, that's a like he seems like a cool dude, then it might make the movie a little less enjoyable. But Marvel does it again. This movie came out during, I guess not the height of the pandemic. This was in 2021. But still, the pandemic still happening, and this movie made over $200 million in the United States alone. And that was it? See, I think the thing was, this was the first one they tried doing since the pandemic started without Disney Plus, and it did really good. It made another 200 internationally. It made 432 million worldwide. Now you may think, well, compared to other Marvel movies that didn't do as well, but think about again the pandemic for that movie. Again, a new character, not part of not a sequel, but again, just being a Marvel movie alone will pull these people in to see it, and it worked because obviously the movie did quite well, and considering the circumstances of the pandemic. And it said right at the end, the 10 rings will return. We figured Shang-Chi would return, but I thought maybe because they called this one Shang-Chi and the Legends of the 10 Rings, next time will be Shang-Chi and something else. It probably will be Shang-Chi and the something of the 10 Rings, the Revenge of the 10 Rings, the Rebirth of the 10 Rings, one of those things. Like maybe the 10 Rings stays around, but it changes, the verb, the adjective, the noun, the something, the adjective, whatever. It's the grammar word will change. Word, good grammar, English, me no. I'm trying to think what else. It's another, I realize these episodes don't go very long, 15, 20 minutes, but that's all it takes. The real thing is for me to watch a movie every day and talk about it. And that's what I've done for you. I watched it this afternoon, finished it maybe about around 8:30 p.m. or so. Got life living along the way. We went to there's a town called Newburyport in Massachusetts. We went there today for a pet bash, they called it. There was a beer garden. It was put on by a brewery. I had a beer. I drank a full beer. I think it was good. Like the first sip, you go, oh, that's kind of good. And I'm thinking, oh, God, what have I done? I am not a beer drinker. I have a Bud Light Lime in my fridge. And I'm like, ooh, I could finish that whole thing. A whole Bud Light Lime, I could do that. You go to like a brewery, especially like a small brewery, a microbrew, whatever you call it, and it's fancy beer, and it was like called a French soiree or something. I was like, which beer is lighter, sir? They gave me whatever the lighter one was. The other one was an IPA, which for the longest time I thought IPA was a brand. I didn't know it was a style that other people like. Wait, how can all these people have IPAs? I don't understand. I thought it was like a Budweiser. I don't know beer, but I drank the entire thing. Crazy, I know. And they had I said they had a live band. What does this have to do with the movie today? Absolutely nothing. But that's what I did today. And tomorrow, now I'm going to do a pause walk. I'm walking my dog. My life is surrounded by my dog. But in the meantime, I will be watching another movie. What will that movie be? I'm going to tell you right now. It's not a Marvel movie. I know that for a fact because I'm not doing Marvel movies 2 days in a row. Got to space these out a little bit as I'm catching up on those movies and a bunch of other movies that I haven't seen. Some I probably haven't seen in years. Some I've just held off and waited for this magical month. And with that, I think I'm good. I'm going to say this is 4 movies in, 3 of which I've enjoyed. I enjoyed Ghostbusters like a lot. And the two Marvel movies, I enjoy. I just enjoy Marvel movies. Sorry, I like them. Guess what? A lot of people likes them. A lot of people likes them, and I like speaking proper English also. And then there's F9, which it's like at this point, I'm just going to watch these stupid movies and shake my head. I watched a movie today where a guy has magic rings on his wrist, and at the end he's fighting dragons, and I'm still like, this is much more believable than what I saw Dominic Toretto do in F9. That's how I feel about it, because this isn't a fantasy world. That's in, I don't know what the hell that's in. That's in Dum Dum Land. That's where the Fast and the Furious take place. It takes place in the magical world of Dum Dum Land. Now, I'm done. I've extended it long enough that we're close to 20 minutes. So, hey, let's call it, my friends. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Geek Mentality. You can find the Facebook page at Fans Not Experts and the website where every episode of every movie month ever can be found, fansnotexperts.com. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for following, subscribing, all that fun stuff. And until tomorrow, my friends, here is my... Gonna make it a little longer. I think someone's having a party outside. Okay, theme song. This is my podcast. I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe, 'cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time, and I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode.
Fans Not Experts.